Man, what is happening, my YouTube family? Of course, it is your boy B New. I'm coming at you on this Monday. And first and foremost, as always, want to send out positive vibrations and blessings to anybody who could be listening. Now, with all that being said, we all know that the Los Angeles Lakers were in action on yesterday, taking on none other than the Memphis Grizzlies. And before I get into today's show, I just want to thank everybody on yesterday who joined into the live stream after the game on yesterday for the post-game analysis and the discussion. I had a really good time interacting with everybody, answering questions for the ones that I could see. It is much appreciated anytime you join me. I will continue to do that throughout the playoffs, post-game, each game for the Lakers versus the Grizzlies series, and try to do my best to have a daily show following as well to continue to nail points home regarding the series and maybe touch on some other games going on around the NBA because we have plenty of things to talk about. It's 40 games and 40 nights, my favorite time of the year, the NBA playoffs. So without further ado, let's just get into it. By now, we all know that the Los Angeles Lakers prevailed yesterday down on Beale Street against none other than those Beale Street Bears, the Memphis Grizzlies, and the Lakers won. I won't say handily because it was a close game, just like I predicted. If you looked at my pregame analysis, a lot of the things that I said rang out to be true. I said that it could be a very close game in the fourth quarter and that eventually that the Lakers would take control in the waning minutes of the game. And I also said that the Lakers more than likely would go in down, that they would probably come out ahead and then go in down at halftime, but have a strong third quarter and take the lead, and then it'll be anybody's game in the fourth. And that's actually what happened. But one of the main things that I said was that in order for the Los Angeles Lakers to be successful and to win the game, that Anthony Davis would have to have at least 17 shot attempts. And that's crazy because I picked that number out of the air, and that's exactly how many shot attempts he had. And of course, Anthony Davis did his thing. And if you look at the numbers, you might see that Rui Hachimura actually scored more than Anthony Davis. Had 29 points, which is the first time a Laker has done that since 84, I think, come off the bench. I think it was Michael Thompson. He broke that record for 29, no, it was 88 as a matter of fact, and broke that record. And that was, the Lakers won a championship that year too. So maybe this is foretelling of the things to come. And also, you know what else happened in 1988, baby? The four Lakers in the playoffs in one particular game had 20 points apiece, and the same thing happened yesterday, and I kind of spoke on that on yesterday's show. It hadn't been since 88 where you had four Lakers score 20 points or more, and that was James Worthy, Byron Scott, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and of course Magic Johnson. And now on yesterday, we had Hachimura, Austin Reaves, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis all score 20 or more points, and also D'Angelo Russell had 19, so he was right there. It could have been 5 Lakers players, which I believe may would have set a record, but I'm not totally sure. Don't quote me on that, but hey, it would have been a damn good thing if it happened. But as we all know, as we talked about on yesterday, the star of the show in the late moments of the game was none other than Austin Reaves. Austin Reaves screamed out, "I'm him." He took on that role. He really had it going on, especially, I don't know if you noticed, once John Marantz went out of the game, they tried to get Desmond Bane matched up against Austin Reaves, but that's something they simply could not do because the Lakers started running beautiful guard screens to get the switch and put Tyus Jones back on Austin Reaves, and Austin Reaves knows just how to dictate that screen and get around and put Tyus Jones behind him, chasing him on that screen, unable to catch up. And Austin Reaves knows how to draw contact if he does catch up with him, the stop and go action to create the contact and hit the shot. And Austin Reaves was masterful at that in the waning moments of the game on yesterday. We did see at first he had it going when he hit the one shot. Then LeBron James had the wherewithal to kick it out to him at the top of the key and hit that three. And once he did that, LeBron James was smart enough to defer to Austin Reaves, and there's nothing wrong with that. Of course, even the haters, they have to find something to hate on. So they said, well, let me see, what can I do? Oh, LeBron James, he played terrible. LeBron James, he played terrible. Well, LeBron James, 21 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, 3 blocks, some nice chase down blocks, and some nice help blocks against Jaren Jackson Jr. And not only that, LeBron James was the only person who could effectively guard Jaren Jackson Jr. yesterday, although Triple J was having his way with LeBron in the paint. He's bigger and stronger, and that's hard to say about anybody, but LeBron was a little outmatched in the post and depended on AD to come for help at times. But if there was anybody else on Jaren Jackson Jr. besides for AD, they was going to get cooked. That happened to Vanderbilt on several occasions. And shouts out to the coaching staff for having Vanderbilt start out on John Marantz, which he really stifled him in the first quarter. Ja really couldn't get it going. That kind of kept the crowd out of it, because if you can contain Ja, then you're forcing other players to beat you. And I got to give shouts out to Dillon Brooks. He was making it difficult for LeBron to find his spots and pick and choose. So when you have options like a LeBron James and Anthony Davis, and you choose to go to Austin Reaves, then that lets you know that the Lakers are deep and that they have what it takes to constitute a championship team. And I continue to say that, and I'm not going to keep on saying it, but for those of you who are new viewers as of today, I will say it one more time. A rim protector and a defensive stopper in that of Anthony Davis, a person to do that dirty work and play good defense, as well as Vanderbilt, somebody who can handle the ball, shoot, create for themselves and others, in that of Austin Reaves and D'Angelo Russell, who, by the way, had a great game on yesterday as well, even though he started off pretty cold from beyond the arc. And then, of course, you have LeBron James. And enough said, we don't need to jump into all that. But also, you have a Dennis Schroeder, who is a great on-the-ball defender who can come in and be a great point guard. And that's something that Memphis had. Everybody keeps repeating any broadcast, especially any national broadcast. You keep hearing them say, Tyus Jones is a starting point guard on any other team in the league. Tyus Jones makes the best decisions in most starting point guards in this league. Tyus Jones always knows how to make the right play. His shot is smooth. He's silky when he gets into the paint. He got the floater. He really got it all. He got the floater, the jumper, the mid-range, the long range. Shouts out to him. But the Grizzlies are going to definitely need his services, because unfortunately we know John Marantz had that injury to where he took on AD in the air, and that's something that Ja always does, attacks the rim with reckless abandon. And in this particular case, it maybe wasn't the wisest decision, because Anthony Davis met him in the air vertically, did not commit a foul. Of course, he's bigger. He absorbed that contact, and Ja took a hard fall, and that was already the messed up hand. It was already taped in the first place. And after the game, John Marantz said, I cannot even tie my shoe or put on my socks. That's how bad the pain level is, at a 10. With that being said, I don't give the Grizzlies much of a chance. Tyus Jones is great, and he can make that offense tick, but who's going to play back up when he's not playing? You understand what I'm saying? It's going to be a tough go for the Memphis Grizzlies. They already saw that they got a recipe for success. Of course, Desmond Bane after the game said, well, Rui Hachimura had the playoff game of his life. Will he do that again? My answer is yes. Maybe he won't hit 5 out of 6 threes, but he will continue to be a great wing defender that he is. He will continue to hit open shots if he has them for the most part. He will continue to put pressures on the defense as well. Austin Reaves, of course, is going to continue to chase screens. We saw the chase down block as he fought through the screen and was getting Desmond Bane. The previous play, he was called for a foul on a 3-point shot for Desmond Bane. And of course, Desmond Bane got 3 free throws, but Austin Reaves made up for that and got a block on Desmond Bane coming, fighting through the screen. And when you're talking about fighting through the screen, you got to give shouts out to Dennis Schroeder. Only played 20 minutes. Think about it. Ham really shortened the lineup yesterday. Only went 8 deep. I think Malik Beasley might have played 10 minutes, but you didn't see Wayne and Gabriel. You're probably not going to see any Lonnie Walker. I was surprised that we don't see Mo Bamba. I think if Steven Adams were to play in this series, if he had a shot at playing in this series or played in this series, you would see some size in Mo Bamba, because you could not have Anthony Davis taking on that physicality all game long, and you would have to substitute. But luckily for the Los Angeles Lakers, and I said this before the series started, Lakers in 6, because no Steven Adams, I knew that the Lakers could win 4-2. I thought the Grizzlies could grit out 2 games, but now I'm not so sure. I'm starting to think this may be over in 5, or maybe even a sweep if the Grizzlies don't win the next game. And if Ja doesn't play the next game, then I don't think that they have a great shot at it. I think LeBron James is going to want to make up for the poor performance they said he had, which keeps saying a poor performance, but 21 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, 3 blocks, 50% from the field, 3 from 8 from 3, 38%. If that's a poor performance, I take that from a 38-year-old all day long. And of course, LeBron was preserving his energy for the fourth quarter, and he didn't even get a chance to really get into a rhythm of his offense at the end because he didn't need to, but he did facilitate for others. Should have had more assists than what he did, but of course, Hachimura had didn't finish on a couple of shots that should have been easy layups for him, and as well as Troy Brown Jr., who really didn't even have a big game on yesterday either. Missed some very wide open threes, so I'm expecting a bounce back sort of game from Troy Brown, but Troy Brown still continued to play good defense when he was in the game. But of course, we got to talk about D'Lo, 19 points, 7 assists. That was excellent. 3 from 9 out of 3, only 33%. But his assists continue to get people involved. Dennis Schroeder to play to Anthony Davis when he had him trailing, the stop and go action, just enough to suck the defense in and kick it back to AD. I mean, can't say enough about Dennis Schroeder. I mean, only had 7 points, but his defense was big. Of course, a lot of people think that Hachimura not going to be able to replicate this performance again, but I, for one, do think that he will. Maybe not the 29 points, and the Lakers won't necessarily need that from him, but then that's why they are deep. When they don't get it from him, then maybe Troy Brown will get more points. Maybe Austin Reaves will get more points. Maybe instead of only 21, LeBron will have 30. Maybe instead of AD only having 22, AD will have 30 or 35. See, they're going to hit you from so many different ways. You understand what I'm saying? So it's never going to be easy going against the Los Angeles Lakers. And I said last night during the live stream that the Clippers, that the Suns are going to have their hands full with the Clippers, even minus Paul George. And what I said about that proved to be true. I, for one, am not afraid of the Phoenix Suns. Do you understand me? Probably more afraid of the Clippers than anybody because of that 11-game win streak. But this is not the same Lakers of old that had continued to lose to the Clippers. We know recently the new look Lakers did lose to them, but we know that was on the second night of the back-to-back after the Clippers already had 3 days off and the Lakers had played 5 games in 7 nights, and that was a difficult thing for them to overcome. But at the end of the day, Denver played a hell of a game against Minnesota last night. Minnesota just kind of packed that in early. Sometimes once you start just making everything, then the roof start falling off, the crowd all into it, and then pretty much it's over at that point. So I won't just say that, that they're 30 points better than Minnesota, but they were 30 points better than Minnesota on that particular night. I still expect that series to go 6 games because I don't think Minnesota is going to fold easily. But you're going to have some people step up on that team and start doing a little bit more. But we're not talking about Minnesota. We're talking about the Los Angeles Lakers, who prevailed, let me say once again, on yesterday, 128-112 against the Memphis Grizzlies. AD, I cannot say enough about him. 7 blocks. So that lets you know he's controlling the paint. If you come in the paint, then that's what's just going to end up happening, is you're going to get turned away by AD. He is just not having it. A lot of people were scared when he had that initial injury on yesterday. I said at the moment, it has to be a stinger because it didn't look like he broke anything. I'm like, it wasn't hard enough to broke or dislocate, and you're saying you can't feel it. It's just a stinger. I don't know if you ever had a stinger, but, you can just lose feeling in there. But, man, AD, stop being so dramatic, man. Last time you crawled around on that floor, man, I thought the season was over. You got to stop doing that, bro. Just come on, man. Stop striking fear in the hearts of the Lakers Nation, man, please. But now I kind of want to focus just a little bit on some of the things that Memphis was saying with all the chirping. Of course, we know John Marantz recently said, I'm fine in the West. And then you saw what happened and what began to happen. So, young fella, you might not need to keep chirping. You need to just let your play go out there and show itself. Y'all know I'm an avid. I love these Memphis Grizzlies as well. I got nothing but love for them, being from their West End myself. So at the end of the day, I got love for them. But you have to be careful in what you're saying. And, you had Dylan Brooks saying, oh, yeah, we want LeBron. We're glad to have the Lakers in the first round. It'll be good to knock him out right away. Things like that, that's only going to come back to haunt you. So, I think Kenny the Jet or somebody was saying, no, that's not what you want in the first round. That's definitely not what you want in the first round. And then you got to think Beasley might come in and get hot at any time on the next game. Beasley didn't get anything but 10 minutes, but let him get in and make 2 or 3 threes and just start going off because he's that kind of streaky player. Once he get on a hot streak in the game, he becomes a not missed player. When he's running off that screen, he has a very quick release. And of course, he doesn't get a whole lot of others involved. And that's why I've been saying for a very long time, go back and look at the tape. I was saying games and games before Austin Reaves even took over the starting position. I kept saying he needed to be in that starting lineup just because of his ability to create contact, get to the line, able to finish, and create for others, something that Malik Beasley isn't really capable of doing. He's mainly a spot-up shooter. Now, he can get to the hole, but just not very effectively, because if he could, then the numbers would show otherwise. So we talked on yesterday's show about making sure we can keep Austin Reaves going into next season. He will be a restricted free agent, knowing that the Lakers could sign and match whatever another team was willing to offer. Let's just hope it's not too high. I don't want to pray against Austin Reaves' bread. I don't want to knock it down, but, the Lakers don't really want to go into a luxury tax a lot of times, or they may have to free up some space in order to keep Austin Reaves, because once the Lakers go on this championship run and Austin Reaves shows his productivity and what he's capable of doing, that he's not going to shy away from the big moments, then you might be thinking, hey, we don't need to pay D'Lo $45 million a year, because that's the type of money he's used to getting. He needs to negotiate something smaller to stay in LA. And if he doesn't want to do it, then that's fine. We'll retain the services of Dennis Schroeder, who dropped the bag a couple of years ago. We all know how that went. Won't go down that road. But at the end of the day, man, I just feel like the Lakers, if they can finish the Grizzlies off in quicker games, that'll be better for them, because that's more rest for LeBron, more rest for Anthony Davis, and that'll make them more dangerous. And Golden State takes on Sacramento tonight. That's going to be a very interesting game. I'm going to do my best to watch that game in its entirety. Maybe I can give a breakdown of that game on tomorrow's show, because, hey, y'all can say what you want to. This schedule is favoring the Lakers, because now Golden State, they only had one day off. Now they playing again, which I find a little odd that the Lakers don't play again until Wednesday. But that's fine by me, because the Clippers play again tomorrow. But you have to have, it's all about ratings too. So before you get started on these kind of theories or whatever, ratings play a part in it. And if you can put Wednesday night as a big lineup night for television, and when you're trying to get ratings and get watchers and viewers and advertisers dollars, then that's what you want to put on your Wednesday night marquee matchup. Do you understand me? So for all the haters, before you even get it twisted, start saying, oh, the refs is giving them this or this and that, just go ahead on and chill. But anyway, I look forward to y'all joining me on the next live stream. If you haven't done so already, hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe. And as always, this has been your boy B New. I'm saying right on to the real, and much love to these haters. I'm out.